Hello and welcome to Hanamade. I would like to share instructions on how to make this very easy Easter craft. So I had Mod Podge and a brush, I had cardstock, whatever box, and paper as well as scissors, and then lace, an old sheer curtain. I use a kind of polyester nylon one, you can use cotton as well. And then I had good pair of scissors for the fabric. So that is pretty straightforward, right? What I'm going to use, but the main idea is that I am creating eggs or shape of eggs from the sheer curtain. The sheer curtain by itself is rather soft, so I am going to apply a layer of Mod Podge on it that will sort of starch it. So I first cut out an egg from paper so I can trace it on the cardstock. Um, there are many different ways you can do it. You can either cut out the egg itself and then you trace around it, or you can cut larger piece and the egg inside it, so that way you will know what the pattern will be. However, I find that on this lace there's so much pattern everywhere that I didn't want to be really all that detail oriented, so just simple shape of the egg worked out for me. I am using the cardstock because it's easier to work than piece of paper. Piece of thin paper will eventually get worn out and it would be uneven, and I just like things nice and thick and in good shape. So now I'm just cutting the sheer curtain so it will fit on my mat. You can have it whatever shape you want, but I kind of prefer, so this is how it will look like, right? Um, I just wanted to make sure it will fit on my mat. It was beautiful day outside and I decided to apply the Mod Podge and then dry it outside. By the way, I do love Mod Podge very, very much, but it has got a little bit of smell. And if you don't clean the lid properly, it may get stuck. So I'm using this amazing device my husband got me, so I don't have to ask him help me. Yes, he's making me very independent. And then I basically put lots of, or good amount, that was a little too much, good amount of Mod Podge on the sheer curtain itself. And I spread it somewhat evenly, and then I will let it dry outside, preferably, because it's much faster, or you can do it overnight, and then I will flip it and do the other side. That is one thing that I often mess up because I'm working on few projects at the same time and I may forget what I was doing. However, in this case, if you apply the first layer of Mod Podge, like so, and you let it dry, it may adhere slightly even to the self-healing mat. Plus, it is really good idea to lift it at one point, even if you have to use a little bit of muscle strength, and flip it. Just to remind you, right, you don't want things to stick completely to the mat. But as you can see, there's already so much pretty pattern. By the way, it is not a good idea to use too much because all the holes will be fused, right? So really use the brush. So this is what I was talking about, that it's kind of hard to pull it off. But I did manage and I flipped it, and now when let it dry completely, and now when it's dry I am cutting out the shape of the eggs. I am, I guess, living on the edge because I didn't even trace it, I just cut around it. I kind of believe in sort of rustic, I don't know, not super edgy and symmetrical look. So if there are any small faults, fine with me. So sorry about my head. So anyhow, this is really, really, really cool project. The only thing is that you will have to wait quite a while for it to dry, right? So it cannot be pulled in half an hour. I'm always looking for projects for my seniors that can be done in half an hour, 40 minutes, or same applies to kids. But anyhow, as you can see, there's tons and tons of potential. And I'm super happy because sheer curtains are very easy to buy. They were popular 90s, and now many people are ditching them. So if you go to thrift store, if you ask your friends, I am sure they have tons of them. And I think because my mat is black, you can see the nice contrast. So then I just used hole puncher and made a hole. You don't have to. If you have a needle, you can always put the string through that way. I was deciding between pretty ribbon and just a simple jute string. I decided to go the rustic round. And then I was deciding if I want to attach some kind of ribbons or other embellishments. There are, of course, tons and tons of choices. You can even actually apply, say, bunny design on a napkin to it, or picture, whatever you want. I decided to go with the ribbons, and I add, rather little bows, and I attach them on both sides. I was playing around with the idea where to place them, on the bottom, on the top, in the middle, and honestly they are all pretty, so it doesn't matter. Alright, I really have to improve my head position there. I'm sorry about that. So this is the final result. I did use a glue gun for attaching the little bows. I found it much easier, and it was quite simple and quick project. So this is the final result. That's just one simple egg. I do think there's potential to do something on the edges as well, either edge it with a stamp or even add ribbons or a little embroidery, maybe blanket stitch. So each of them individually are not all that amazing, but look at this. Once I put the eggs on the branches, it looks very pretty. The green eggs are different projects. I will also make video very soon. But I hope you like this idea of upcycling and creating something from items we already have. I also love the idea that it's quite simple. You don't need many supplies, you can use what you have, and it is pretty simple thing to do and decorative. And of course you can stash them away for next year. If you enjoyed this, please follow my channel or watch me on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you very much for watching Haname.